So you want to learn how to ride clip pedals, but you don't want to look like this guy?
Oh man, hold on guys. Let me get next to this tree so I can clip in.
Or maybe this guy?
Oh man, which way do I gotta go? Yeah, it's going uphill, I can't stop. Get next to this sign, hold on to it. Oh, it's hard to read that sign.
Well, stick around. I'm going to give you some tips for learning how to ride clip pedals, even if you're an old man like me. So first, let's talk about a little bit of background. I didn't learn how to use clip pedals till I was 46 years old. 46 years old. Up there in the age a little bit. You just don't remember things as well, but you can still do it. I'm going to go over some tips for what type of clip pedal you might want to start off with to learn, some of the techniques I used to help me learn, and some of the common mistakes that people make. So one of the first things we need to talk about is your choice of clips. I learned how to ride on Shimano SPD system, on Shimano SPD pedals. I learned how to ride on this pedal right here. I find the SPD pedal is probably one of the easiest to learn on because there's a lot of adjustability and there's different types of cleats. One of the types of cleats is the regular old cleat here. This cleat you can only get out of by twisting your foot. Move this way, whoop, whoop, left or right, on the bottom if you want. That's the only way to get out of this cleat. The multi-release cleats, see, they got a little M on them here. There's a little M right here, there we go, little M. And that means they're multi-release cleats, which means you can't only get out of them by twisting left and right. You can also twist your foot to the side like this, and it'll generate enough force to pop them out. These are the cleats I would recommend you buy to learn on. Because, yeah, you're gonna still twist to get in and out. But when it comes down to an oh shit moment where you have to get out of your cleat and you have to get out now, these you can pretty much just jerk on and your foot's coming out. Where these, you're not. You are connected. You have to twist. So buy these to start off to learn. Please. It'll help you out a lot. So pedals. You want to pick a pedal that fits the way you ride. I ride mostly trails, so I don't need a huge, massive pedal. The pedal I chose to ride right away was this. I think it's called the MP530 from Shimano. As you see, it's a little tiny trail pedal. It's not very big. Doesn't have any pins. And I actually picked these up used in relatively good condition, not the way they look now, for I think 25 euros. One thing I read about these pedals is they're easy to learn with. They're easy to get out of. Getting in, they're not as good. I've ridden other Shimano pedals that are easier to get clipped in, but these are really easy to get out. I also run other trail style pedals with pins. These I'll actually run on a little rougher trails if I plan on riding some reds, maybe dipping into some black trails. I'll throw these on because the shoe slips and rotates a little less when you add some pressure and it digs into these pins. It makes it feel a little more stable. Another thing you're going to want to do with your pedals is back off the tension all the way. You can adjust the tension on these Shimano pedals. Allen key, little screw here, back, counterclockwise gets rid of tension, clockwise adds tension. If you look, there's a little tiny plate down here, right in there. There's a little tiny plate that pushes on the spring. The farther it pushes on the spring, the more tension, the harder it is to get out of the pedal. So what you're going to want to do is back the pedals off all the way to start with. Sometimes they come already in this setting. Just back them off all the way till they stop. There you go. Counterclockwise till they stop. There you go. Do that on both sides of both pedals. Don't forget a side, otherwise you may have some issues. So now I'm going to cover some drills I recommend you do just to get used to clipping in and out of your bike. The first thing you want to do, install those clip pedals. Make sure they're backed all the way off. Put on your shoes, take your bike outside, and rest it up against the wall. I actually did this to begin with too. You're going to look stupid. I'm sorry, you're going to look stupid. But I highly recommend doing it. Not just once, a couple times. Over a couple days, and you'll actually start to feel the clips, where they clip in, where they clip out, and it'll start clicking in your head how you need to move your feet to get clicked in and out. So you're going to want to do this, I don't know, every day, 10, 15 times on each side, then flip the bike around, do the other side. Just keep doing it. Just keep practicing. And you're going to start learning where you need to rotate your foot to clip out. It'll become muscle memory. So the next thing you're going to want to do is take your bike out. If you have a grassy yard, maybe the park, somewhere around there, and learn how to ride it and getting clipped in, clipped out while moving. A lot of people think a little too hard on this. The biggest problem they have is getting started out pedaling on their clips. Before you try out your clip pedals, what I want you to do is just ride your normal flat pedals. There's always a foot you start off on. There's always a foot you put on your pedals first, and it's the first one you push down on your pedals with. That's not going to change. You're still going to want to do that when you start using clips and start learning how to clip in. Same foot, start off, muscle memory. Your body already knows how to do that. Don't read into it. Just because you're clipping in now doesn't mean you change that part. Now, what you're going to want to do is take off, start riding around in the grass. And then just stop. Learn how to take your foot off and then stop. If you can't get your foot unclipped, just keep riding until you can figure out how to get your feet unclipped while you're moving. You want to do this in a soft grassy area just in case you fall over. You don't want to do this on hard pavement or gravel or something like that. Do it on grass first. Learn how to get clipped out and clip back in while you're riding. So now that you've learned how to come to a stop and get unclipped, you can do it, right? Okay, we got this part. We're going to move on. Next thing we want to do is learn how to get clipped in and clipped out while we're moving. I didn't do this until after I should have done this. So you're just going to ride around. I would say set up some cones maybe and ride by them and just don't care which foot's up, which foot you want to unclip. Not always the same foot, not the first foot you always put down when you were stopping earlier, because I guarantee you had a foot that you constantly unclipped and used first to step down. So now, that's what I'm saying, set up some cones or maybe a tree or use something and just ride around in an oval, and every time you get to it, unclip one of those feet, the foot that's left or right, whichever one you want to use, and clip it back in. Just keep pedaling, clip it back in. Pull it off, pedal, 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 clip it back in. And practice this. This is very important to practice because you're not always going to have a planned time to stop. Sometimes you're going to need to stop because your buddy fell in front of you, or, oh crap, there's an obstacle right in front of me that I don't think I can clear. You're going to need to be able to unclip quickly. So now that we learned how to clip in while we're standing, clip in and out while we're moving, and clip out when we're stopped, and we want to take it out on the trails. Now you're going to want to go out and practice this on the trails also. Start off on the easier trails that you know, and just unclip sometimes. Ride down the trail, just unclip sometimes. I mean, don't do it while you're really getting it down a trail, but slow down, unclip, maybe come to a stop, then clip back in, get riding. And remember, every time you start off, you're still using your same dominant foot that you used to push off with as you did before. Just because you're riding clip pedals now does not change that. Keep everything simple. That's the easiest way to learn it. So a lot of people don't want to learn clip pedals because they're afraid of that just falling over. Well, I'm sorry to say, it's going to happen. I can't give you any tips that are going to make it not happen. It is going to happen. You are going to come to a stop and just fall over. You're going to forget that you're clipped in. It's happened to me. It'll happen to everybody at least once. You're going to come to a stop and just fall over. So those are all my tips. I mean, I hope they help you guys. Those are the things I use to learn how to ride clip pedals. One thing I'm definitely going to tell you is you are going to be slower on the trails. Not uphill, only downhill. You should be much faster uphill because you can get the power down better. Downhill, you're going to be slower than you are on your flat pedals because you're going to have that constant thing in the back of your head thinking I'm connected to the bike. You're going to have that. But once you get used to the pedals, you'll find you have a lot more control and you'll start to feel a lot safer in the rougher sections. I mean, if you guys have any questions, just ask me if I can help you out in any way. It wasn't too hard of a learning process for me. It took me probably 6 to 7 months till I was as comfortable on clip pedals as I was on flats. Now I'm hands down much faster on the clips than I was on flats, unless I'm on some really technical, sketchy gnar stuff that I don't trust myself on even if I was on flats. Then it doesn't really matter. If the video helped you, please come back, subscribe, and yeah, keep on shredding. Dave out.